Greetings, gamer, and welcome back to my game room. Hey, we here at NewVenture Games are celebrating the spring thaw with 3 new games in our catalog. A couple of these you may have seen already because we've had them in development for a while, and a few of the prototypes have made it out onto the street, but now they're official. The first game I want to talk about this week is called Stones. You might have seen this one around before. It's been around for quite some time now. And now that we've created our new Flexboard system, it's been a perfect time to release this game again. This is the way that Stones looks today. This is kind of a game in process. And you can see our Flexboard system here that is actually held together with some magnets. Works really great in the small box format, but we still get a full-size game board. Stones is a combination of a roll and move, but it also has a position game, 4-in-a-row game that's tied to it. Provides a nice balance, I think, of chances and choices. There are enough familiar aspects to the game that people can pick it up and start playing within just a few minutes. It's a great little family game, and I have done a video on this subject already, so you can check it out in the notes below and get a chance to see the details behind Stones. And then also jump over to our website and get a copy for yourself. It's a lot of game for just 20 bucks. The second game I want to show you this week is called Závod. It's in honor of the Boston Marathon. So take a look at this video here and see how to play Závod. Zavod, in Czech, means race, like a bicycle race. For example, they have an annual Zavod bicycle race. It has other meanings in other dialects. Foot race is what's being simulated in this little game. It also happens to be the name of a city in Slovakia, but that's a whole other subject. It is just a very straightforward little race game for 2 players. That's the way I designed it. There's some clever stuff that goes on in this game. It's not just a roll and move. There actually are decisions to be made. So let's go ahead and dive right into the rules here, and then I'll come back afterwards and tell you a little bit more about the game Závod. You can see by the layout of the board that the objective is to be the first to run from the city gate in one corner to the tower in the other, and back again. First, each player roll a die, and whoever has a higher number puts their colored peg in the city gate space. The start player then rolls both dice and decides which of the 2 numbers to use for their movement. Their peg is moved that many spaces toward the tower. Pegs can move orthogonally and diagonally. The second player puts their peg at the city gate, then does the same. 2 pegs cannot occupy the same space at the same time, therefore, a runner must swerve around the opponent to pass them. After the first 2 turns, whichever player is trailing in the race takes their turn. That may mean that a player may end up taking 2 turns in succession, maybe even more. The 2 players may be exactly the same number of spaces away from the tower or from the city gate on the way back. Count the spaces on the shortest path to the goal to check the distance. If they are, the 2 players roll a die to see who gets to move next. The highest rolling player wins the privilege and must move the number of spaces shown on that die. If there's a tie, just re-roll the dice. When a runner reaches the tower, the remainder of the die total is used as movement in the other direction. If a runner ends their turn on the tower space exactly, and the next player should roll a number that would end up on that space, the move is forfeited, and the player at the tower goes next. The first player to get their runner back to the city gate wins. This does not need to be done by exact count. And so that's Závod. It's a fun little race game for 2 people. Just enough decisions to be made there to keep it interesting. And it's a great little gift for somebody who you might know that's a runner, or a stocking stuffer, or birthday present for some kid. It's just a really fun little game. Now, if you search, you may find that there have been games published in Eastern Europe about Závod Miru, the famous bike race. Not the same game as what I'm presenting today, of course. The chances are slim that you can find them, but just in case, here's what you're looking for. Now, with springtime also comes flood season. That's not normally something to celebrate, but I think something that is worthwhile celebrating is how communities come together to help each other during a flood season. And this game, called Flash Flood, is a cooperative card game for the whole family. And in this game, you are attempting to hold back the floodwaters as they rise by building a levee out of sandbags. And in about 2 weeks, I'm going to be publishing a video on how to play Flash Flood with all the details in the animation that you're used to. So be watching for that, and also check out the links down below if you'd like to get a copy of the game. So that's our video for this week. I want to thank you for tuning in and for liking and subscribing and sharing and all that. And like I say, be sure to pop over to the NewVenture website and check out the other games in the catalog. I'll be back next week with another historical game, and we'll carry on from there. And as I always say sometimes, be sure to play every day. Hey, check this out. The name of the game is Zavod. It's a word in Czech. That is to say, it's not in Czech, like in chess in Czech. It's in Czech, like the Republic, the language of Czech. It's called Zavod.